How's that? Can y'all hear me now? How is that? Can y'all hear me? Boom, boom. All right. What is going on? We are live. Live. I have been spending the afternoon, the evening getting my office a little more organized, how I like it. Got a little bit of stuff going on in the background. So I hope everyone's doing good. What a wild week. I don't know why I always do this. I don't need my headphones on. I'm not talking to anybody besides me. Don't know why I always do that, but what is going on? Hope everyone had a great week at work, great week in the garden. We are doing our TGIF Fridays. What is it? TGIF live stream. Oh, got a mosquito. It's November and there's a freaking mosquito in my office. Drop your comments down below. We're going to be live here for a little bit. We'll go for about an hour. I usually go live every Friday. I'm off every other Friday, so I will do 7 a.m. on the Fridays that I'm off, and then I'll do 7 p.m. for the Fridays that I'm working. So 7 or 7. So I'll either be on 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. But yeah, it was a crazy week. First of all, the garden party, if you haven't watched it already, this week's episode of the garden party might be the best episode of the garden party ever. We had Vikram, the plant prof. We had Gardening with Des. We had Jeremy Trotsky, Dirty Punk Gardening. We had Michael Fiore from Smith's Garden Town. We had Phil's Figs. We had like 7 people on today, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun on Wednesday. We all dressed up as our favorite gardening content creators. We all dressed up like our favorite gardening content creators. It was a blast. See, I dressed up like Mark from Self-Sufficient Me. Des, I think, was the best costume out of anybody. She was dressed like Jeremy. She had the tattooed sleeves and everything. It was really funny. Really, really funny. But everybody had a great week. Got a lot of stuff done in the garden this week. This past weekend. I'm working on the video right now of planting onions and more garlic. I didn't video it, but I planted strawberries. I did my strawberries. I was talking in a couple of podcasts ago about getting some strawberry, bare root strawberries. And I found some from a friend, and I was kind of in a rush before the garden party, and I went ahead and just planted them. And I put them in a bed that I'm hoping will work out as a perennial bed. Most people will buy their strawberries in the spring whenever they go buy their spring veggies, and they think that strawberries are a spring veggie, but actually most places you can keep strawberries as a perennial. You can keep them in the same bed or whatever. You'll see places like Farmer Froberg's where they're planting their strawberry plants right now, and strawberries are pretty cold tolerant. They're fairly cold tolerant, and they will survive most of the winter months. It won't really take much damage. The problem you might have with a cold snap is when the plants have fruits, or sorry, I'm adjusting my camera trying to get it right. If their plant has fruits or blooms on it and you get a cold snap, you may lose the fruit or the blooms. But the actual plant won't really take much damage. There you go. I just set up my office with the lights, and I had a bunch of these Himalayan sea salt. I like the sea salt lamps. They're calming. I don't think they do much, but I don't think they like heal me with like positive ions or anything. I think they look cool though. I literally got the biggest one you could possibly get on Amazon, and I was organizing all my stuff. So, but yeah, so we got that done. Like I said, planted the onions, planted most of the garlic. Most of the garlic got planted, and I was really excited for that because I ordered way too much garlic. They say, I didn't know how much it was going. I know how much garlic it was gonna be. I ordered a half pound, like 5 different varieties, and like I would have probably been okay with a quarter pound of all those varieties. I got way too many. So I still have some varieties. Still got quite a few cloves. I think I have some of the Texas rose garlic, but it'll be all right because I'll probably take some to my dad. He's usually got some space to put some stuff. Um, and I planted my onions. I did plant. I got them from Home Depot, which I don't really like that much. I got some onion seeds because we were actually headed to Jimbo's 2 weeks ago, and I was trying to figure out like I was like, I guess it makes sense that 10, 15 onions are planted in October 15th, which kind of makes sense. They last they grow through the winter. And I was talking to one of the master gardeners at Jimbo's from Galveston County, and they were like, yeah, you can plant 10, 15 onions on October 15th if you're planting like the seeds. You wouldn't want to plant the sets on October for the 10, 15 onions. So I went ahead and I got the onion seeds. And when I say seeds, I don't mean like the little tiny seeds. I mean like the little bulbs. But they didn't have green growth on them already. That would be a set. So I'm pretty sure it's accurate. I could be wrong. But I planted a bunch of those. I planted probably, let's see, I planted 80 onions. We did 30 yellow, 30 white, and then we did 20 sweet onions, which are like the red. I think that's right. The video will be out soon. But I did my big 15-inch or 15-inch 15-foot raised bed where I had a bunch of cucumbers growing. I went ahead and pulled the rest of the cucumbers, got the bed topped off, and like I said, I got that video to edit still. I've got so much video editing to do. I'm really excited that tomorrow is I got a another event at what is it called? I'll be at Mercer Botanical Gardens in Humble, Texas. That's where I'm gonna be. Mercer Botanical Gardens. I'll be there from 8 to 3, I think. That's in Humble, Texas. I'll be there all day for the autumn plant sale. And I was looking at the list, and they got a really good selection, actually. But this is like my last event of the year. I don't have anything else in November, December yet. I'm probably not going to do much else. Probably not going to do much else. I'm going to focus on stuff I need to do in my garden, like get my greenhouse put up. I need to put the plastic up, build the end walls, get them all good to go. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do in the garden. So it's nice to buffering. This will be my last meetup, last event of the year so far. So, but yeah, no, we got plenty of rain. Oh my God. So I planted those onions last weekend, and I think almost every single one of my garlic is popping up in one of the beds. So the bed that's 2 weeks planted with garlic has almost every single variety popping up. The only one that hasn't popped up yet is the something red, the chestnut red, which I believe is like the most cold, like long, like short day garlic. Yeah. So that's the one that hasn't popped up, but a lot of the other garlic is popping up, and we probably got, I would say, probably 3 to 4 inches of rain this week. We gotten quite a bit. It's been so dry that it's not. I don't know. We've been getting some heavy rain too, so it's been pretty wild. Very happy for the rain. Very happy for it. What's up, Dez? I'm envious of everyone who has stuff planted. Still no rain here in Austin. Cool light in the background. Thank you. I can change it too. It can go red, or it can go green, or blue. Keep it blue, but I like it moving around a little bit. But yeah, no, we got a bunch of stuff planted this week. We probably have more stuff to plant. I did have some carrots that didn't germinate, which is fine. I didn't know how old those seeds were. I probably had those for a couple of years now. So the ones that I did plant were the ones that came up were, God, dog, I forget which variety it was. The ones that didn't come up were the Parisian carrots. They did not come up, but I have some other varieties of like root vegetables that I can plant in that bed. Also, the French breakfast radishes the seeds I had were pretty old, but the couple of varieties that I'm having good results from are the scarlet radish, and then also the watermelon radish. Those are coming up really, really nicely. So I'm really excited to get some of those coming. We're gonna clean up the entire other bed across from the carrot bed, get it topped off this weekend, and then we want to get that planted. I'm thinking I'm going to plant some rutabagas, maybe some turnips. I would really like to get that planted. Um, I've got too many onions. Well, I say that. So I was talking to Haas. So Greg Key from Haas Tools and Jason from Cog Hill Farms are going to be on the garden party next week. And he had talked about type of onions. He was saying I needed was it long day onions or short day onions? I forget which one. But he's sending me some onions, and they are the Vidora onions. Those are the ones he sent me. So I'm gonna try those out. I've never really grown many onions, honestly, because I don't eat onions. I don't eat onions much. But my wife eats onions. My wife eats onions. We use onions in certain recipes. I just don't eat a whole bunch of onions. So, okay, so the Vidora onion is a short day onion. It is a yellow onion that performs well in the southern states. This sweet onion variety produces yellow Grand X style onions that are they're slightly flattened, that have excellent bolting tolerance. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to try these. Yeah, I want to try to grow a bunch of different stuff. I want to try to learn how to grow different things. Um, I'm more likely to try something that I don't really like to eat and put more effort into liking to eat it. If I grow it myself, I didn't really like squash. Yeah, so short day. Yeah, so they are short day. And I think most of the onions I got that I planted already are short day onions. I don't normally do onions because, well, not only because I don't really eat them, but also because I don't have a whole lot of room. But I'm kind of thinking this year we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to do things a little bit different with the garden beds. I think I'm going to do a lot more stuff in containers for one, like my tomatoes and stuff. I think I'm going to do a lot more stuff in containers. I'm probably not going to do as many tomatoes this year. I did a lot this year. I don't know. I say that every year and then I end up doing a ton. But I probably won't be doing them in the raised beds. I probably because the those onions are going to take a long time. The onions and the garlic are going to take quite a long time. I'm guessing mid May probably for the onions. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see the onions and the garlic come up May, June for the garlic, and there's a ton of garlic. But good news is I got some more smart pots in. I got some of the big smart pots. They're 36-inch wide, by I think 18 inches tall, and so that's gonna be a really good be a little extra garden space to kind of grow some stuff. And I've got plenty of containers, and I'll probably get some more smart pots like for tomatoes as well, and maybe stick some stuff here and there. I like the smart pots because they're not permanent. If I got a bunch of the metal raised beds, and once they're in place, it's they're kind of there. I'm not going to pull up a metal bed. But if it's in a grow bag and the grow bag holds up and it's sturdy and everything, I'll be more likely to maybe dump it and move. Hey, see you later, Des. I'll see you. I'll holler at you next week. Have a good one. Yeah, if you don't already, go follow Gardening with Des. She was on the podcast with us, and she by far had the best costume on Wednesday. She dressed as uh, Jeremy Trosky from Dirty Punk Gardening. She had an amazing costume. An amazing costume. It was really, really good. Let's see. Sorry, I was getting text messages and stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she dressed like Jeremy Trosky. Let me see if I can pull a picture up. Let me pull this picture up. This was so funny. This was one of the funnest episodes of the garden party we've ever had. I think y'all would really love to watch this. Here we go. If I can pull it up. Here we go. Let me share this with y'all. Boom. Yeah, so you can see it here. So I was dressed up like Selfish and Me. Jeremy was dressed as uh, the Baker Creek hobo. And then Josh was, I forget the name of the guy. Um, Monty Don. Monty Don. Phil was apparently dressed as me, and Dez was dressed as Dirty Punk Gardening, which you can kind of see the resemblance right here. Vikram actually was dressed as Dez, and that is her pet squirrel that she was feeding peanuts the entire time. That was the most distracting. That was like the most distracting thing all night was that stupid squirrel. And then Michael, I was not expecting this, was dressed as Jorge from Jorge's Hidden Gardens. That was so funny. I was laughing my butt off all night. Man, it was just so funny. We had a great time. If you haven't already, go watch this past week's episode of the garden party. We had so much fun. We went for 2 hours. Whenever I have that many people on, we usually try to keep the garden party to 4 people, just because like when you get that many people on a podcast, it's a lot of people talking over each other and trying to make sure everybody gets enough time to talk. That's kind of my role during the podcast when we're doing the garden party and everything like that. I try to be like the mediator. I try to make sure that everybody who's taking time out of their busy lives to come on the podcast gets enough time to talk. So I make sure like if someone's dominating the conversation, I try to move it around and spread it around a little bit. Which everybody's pretty good about it, but it's just if someone takes the time out of their week to come on the podcast, I want to make sure they get their money's worth. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We've got a long question here. I'll start it off here. Let's see. I had a few questions about your video. Was reposted a few weeks back on overwintering peppers. Mine are still producing, so I don't know when to cut them back or what to look for. I'm actually putting up a greenhouse over my regular garden bed. Cool. So what I still need to dig them up, or since the greenhouse is going to be over them where they're planted, can I just leave them? Oh yeah, I just leave them there. Yeah, no, if you're gonna, yeah, that is one way you can overwinter anything. You can probably overwinter more than just your peppers, honestly. If you're gonna put up a greenhouse, and you probably have to at some point, depending where you're at, supply some form of heat to it, whether it's some heat lamps or a space heater or whatever. You can overwinter a lot. I only dug up my peppers and cut them back because they were actually in a raised garden bed, and I had to dig them up. And that's the only reason I dug them up. You don't have to go crazy pruning them back if you're gonna put a greenhouse over them. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, you can cut them back if you want. Anything that's gonna touch the plastic, anything that's gonna touch the plastic will probably get damaged from the frost. So if you can keep like inch layer. Why is my thing crooked? Um, Keep like an inch layer from the wall of the greenhouse, and you should be fine. Yeah, no problem, Gary. Yeah, I, I think people will see my videos sometimes and think like, and I'm not saying freaking internet. I hate my internet so bad. Um, if you see me do it in the video, I mean, typically it works out for me, but maybe that method won't work for you at your house. So like, take my ideas and expand on them, and do whatever works for you. I did that video. That was the year I had my first greenhouse. That was probably 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and I think I had those in a small, like wooden raised bed, and I dug them up. And peppers don't typically have crazy roots, especially like your spicier ones. Typically, the spicier the pepper, the slower the grower. And I think that one I had there was a Cajun bell, or I forget what it was. Maybe it was a spicy bell pepper or something, I think. But it didn't have a crazy root ball, and it was kind of dying back anyway. So I took a chance. I would say if you're gonna dig up and overwinter a pepper, do more than just one. I had about a 50% success rate when I dug them up. And then now I kind of just plant my peppers, at least the ones that I want to overwinter. I plant them in containers. I'll do them in containers because I don't even want to have to worry about the shock. This year, I don't have any peppers that I'm going to overwinter. I'm honestly, out of space. I will be doing some videos here within the next month or so. I'm going to be redoing my entire garage. So that's going to be a fun time. I'll be redoing the entire garage. I'm going to have to pull almost everything out of my garage, and then we're going to have some storage solution and building a better grow operation so that it's more efficient for holding more plants, starting more seeds, and then being able to function in the garage. Because my greenhouse is like I don't know if my greenhouse is an extension of my garage or if my garage is an extension of my greenhouse. I guess since my garage came first, the greenhouse is an extension of my garage. I'll probably end up having to put some of my stuff in storage. It's in the garage right now over winter just to fit a bunch of my plants because I've got a ton of plumerias, which I mean, I can probably keep a lot of my plumerias in the greenhouse. They're not as cold, you know, plumerias are not cold hardy by any means, but I've had some outside when it's like 38, 36 degrees and they didn't take much damage. I was very surprised at how little damage they took. Now, your desert roses, my adeniums, I'm not taking any chance. Anytime it drops to 50 or below, and that includes wind chill, I'm popping them in my wagon and I'm taking them to the garage. And here pretty soon, once it starts consistently dropping, like in the low 60s, 50s, I'll probably bring them into the garage regardless, just to kind of keep them safe. I've got a bunch that have seed pods and blooms and all kinds of cool stuff. So I want to protect them, try to harvest some of those seed pods. Um, so most people's desert roses, if you're a desert rose person, you're probably going to see your desert rose go dormant. You're going to freak out. You're going to be nervous because this goes for plumerias too. You're going to see your plant drop leaves and it's going to go dormant for the winter. Take it and put it in the garage, put it in your greenhouse, and don't water it. Don't water it. The plumeria papa was even talking about how if your plumeria is in the garage and you go look at it and it starts to wrinkle, you want to take like a spray bottle and mist it. And so it'll soak up some water and expand, but you don't want it to like shrink up and shrivel up and die. But you don't really want to water your plant if it's in a pot like that. Like so, I won't water my plumerias that are, you know, I wouldn't water my plumerias if they went dormant. I have the benefit of being in Houston, Texas, where we don't have crazy winters. And for the most part, my plumerias and desert roses don't go dormant. They won't go dormant either in the greenhouse or in my garage because I keep the grow lights on. I keep it nice and warm. So that sap flow just continues. Um, but yeah, that's me though. But if you have something like that and you got and it's starting to drop leaves, that means it's going dormant. And you can force dormancy by taking them and just putting them in complete darkness. Put them in complete darkness in your garage; they'll start dropping their leaves regardless, and you should be fine. But I also have to do some pruning. I've got so much work to do, guys. I've been I don't know how many videos I have to edit right now. Let's see. I'm gonna look right here and I can tell you. So as of right now, I have this one's done. One, two. So it's this one. Got 5 videos that are like already imported that need to be edited, and then there's also one, two, three. There's a lot. I got about 10 videos in the backlog. What's going on, Smart Pots? How y'all doing? Yeah, I got 10 videos in the backlog that I need to edit. And I only edit like when it's dark. If it's light outside, I'm probably outside doing something, creating more content. So I'm having like a bottleneck. I need an editor. I probably need to get an editor at some point. Probably will have to. I don't know. I can't release. I can't. I'm too much of a control freak to give up that kind of power. You know, not that my videos are like art or anything like that. I'm not like crazy. Um, I don't know. I feel like if I don't do it myself, I don't know. But a lot of if you see people that post videos all the time and they do it full time, they definitely have an editor. It is a lot of time spent behind this computer doing editing, and that's why I kind of rearranged my room a little bit. I had my desk on this wall, and I didn't like my back to the window. I didn't like my back to the window. It was freaking me out at night. Especially when my dog's in here. My dog will be sitting here and all of a sudden I'll be like, what is going on? Like, it freak me out. And then yeah. So, but yeah, I'll probably keep this one short tonight. The If y'all are in the Humble area, if y'all are in the Humble or Houston area, I'm gonna be at Mercer Botanical Garden tomorrow for their autumn plant sale. Let's see. I'll be there all day from 8 to 3. Let me find the link for that as well. I'm gonna drop that. Captain Jolly just popped in. Let me ask. He was asking a question about his home area. Let's see. So I want to forget. Let me post this link where I'm gonna be tomorrow. Where I'm gonna be tomorrow. Let's see. My plumeria flowered all summer, and it's dropped its flower stem this morning, which I take a request to go inside now and live by the grow lights. There you go. Yeah, they'll drop the flower stems, which doesn't necessarily mean they're going into dormancy. They'll drop that little stem off, and that's when like when a plumeria blooms, every time it blooms, it's basically like cutting someone's arm off. Like, it's like the plant, the plumeria is growing up, right? It's growing up, and then it stops, and it puts out like the little stem, and then it blooms, and then the stem from the blooms is going to die off, and what's going to happen is like typically 3 stems will grow off from that. So just because it dropped the stem doesn't necessarily mean it's going dormant. It means it's going to put on more bloom or put on more limbs, which mine have been doing like crazy. Mine have been blooming. Mine are blooming still. That's why I haven't pruned mine or put them up yet, because they haven't stopped blooming yet. And honest to God, I don't know when they're going to stop. I don't know when the weather is going to change up, because I'm looking at the weather forecast. Let's see. It's supposed to rain for like a week. It's going to be there's a 50% chance at least for every day in the next week until Thursday. And then next Sunday, it drops down to a low of 56, which still isn't that bad, and a high of 75. So it looks like not next Thursday, but Thursday after, or not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we're going to have a cool front coming in, which is kind of nice. In the mid 50s, I can handle it. When it drops down to 50, that's when I got to kind of get worried for at least my sensitive succulents. But I just dropped the Facebook link. This is the link for the event at Mercer Botanical Gardens. Let me go show y'all where we're going to be. I shall shadow my screen. There you go. Y'all can see that. So it is the Autumn Plant Sale, November 2nd, 2024, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mercer Botanic Gardens, put on by the Friends of Mercer's, the Mercer Society. Looking forward to this. Looks like 1,600 people are interested in going, and they've got 93 going. It's going to be a good time. I guess it'll probably depend on the weather. I mean, I'm going to be there rain or shine. I'll be there rain or shine. And this is 22306 Aldine Westfield over there. I looked at it on the Google Maps. I've never been out here, and it is really nice. But they do have a lot of cool plants. There are a lot of cool plants over there at this event. I saw the link for all the plants and stuff, and they got some really cool stuff. I was looking and I saw some of the cactus and succulents, which I'm getting. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of tropical stuff lately. I really like caudiforms. I've been finding, you see desert roses. You see like desert roses, a little lumpy. They kind of look pear shaped. That's what it's called a caudex. Their belly, and that's their like main trunk. And caudexes are like the camels. They're like the caudiforms are like the camels of the plant world. They soak up water and they store it there in their caudex. And as it dries, it releases water to the plant. Caudiforms are typically from like arid climates, desert roses are like from the Mediterranean, Africa, and stuff like that. Um, so you see a lot of these plants, and I've been seeing a lot of exotic caudiforms that are like they'll look like desert roses, like they'll have a nice little fat trunk, and they go to the top and they have like oak leaves or weird looking stuff. There's all kinds of exotic stuff. They hybridize and graft on different stuff, and so like I think I'm really getting into some of these codexes. Uh, some of the other ones are not as quick growing and they can be very expensive. So I got to be kind of careful of what I'm getting into. But there's just so much cool stuff. I'm so excited. You know, every year I'll get into new plants, get into different things, new varieties of stuff, and it's so cool. It seems like every year it's something new. This year I kind of think it's really been the year of the desert rose. I mean, it's really been the year of the desert rose, and I've really noticed on my YouTube channel, especially that the desert rose videos have done really, really well. So I'm really happy about that. That people are enjoying the videos. So I mean, if y'all like the videos, I'll keep making them. You know, if you like my most recent desert rose videos, you're really gonna love one that's coming out soon because I got something coming out that is gonna blow your mind. And it's been so hard to keep it under wraps on what I got, you know, and hide it from everybody and not tell, you know, not spill the beans because I don't typically when I make a video, I don't hold on to it for very long. I usually make the video, edit, and put it out, you know. So it's been very hard to not share all that with y'all. So just be on the lookout for that. I need to post. I've got one more episode of the Great Alabama Garden Tour I need to post. I got one more video. This video is done crazy good. That Myers Plants and Pottery, it's got almost 3,700 views, and I posted it 7 days ago, 9 days ago. So it's doing really, really, really well on YouTube. I'm so happy about that. That means y'all enjoy watching my plant and garden and nursery tours. You know, I love doing those nursery tours. I love traveling to new places and seeing new stuff and checking out, you know, new plant varieties in different places. You know, so it's so cool. It was so much fun for me that we're actually planning for spring break in 2025. We're gonna go east. We're gonna go east and we're gonna go from Houston and just drive until we don't feel like stopping. You know, we're going to drive until we feel like stopping. We're going to go to a bunch of different nurseries, do a bunch of tours, and maybe even, you know, schedule and try to, you know, schedule some luncheons with some people because, you know, I don't make it out that way all the time. So we're going to hit Louisiana, we're going to hit Mississippi, we're going to hit Alabama, we're going to hit Florida, we're going to hit Georgia, we're going to hit South Carolina, we're going to hit North Carolina, and then we're going to make our way back, you know, kind of go maybe a little northern, you know, maybe go through Tennessee, Arkansas, you know, some of that stuff, and make our way back to Houston. So, and if we have a lot of fun doing that one next year, you know, the year after that, we'll go west. You know, I know there's a lot of cool stuff out in New Mexico, Arizona, California. Ugh, kidding. You know, so we'll keep these garden tours going. If y'all keep watching them and sharing them and liking and commenting, that's all the motivation I need. You know, I have so much fun doing all this stuff. You know, I work all day at work and I come home and I film and I edit. And it's because of the positive feedback that I get from all the people watching that keeps me motivated and keeps me wanting to create, you know, do this stuff. You know, so I appreciate it so much. You know, we just celebrated the 27th of October was our 1 year anniversary of the garden party. I mean, me and Phil have been doing this garden party now for over a year. I've been here every week. Phil's been here most weeks. So I mean, it's been crazy. You know, it's so great. Uh, you know, Dez and Vikram and Michael and Jeremy and Josh and you know everybody's been such a great part of this. You know, Jason over at Cog Hill, Tracy. You know, man, a lot of their fans came over after they came on and you know grew the show a little bit. You know, so it's been fantastic. I really just appreciate. You know, y'all don't know how much I appreciate the support. You know, it's so fantastic. When I see people ordering Texas Garden Guy hats, you know, people buy Texas Garden Guy hats and I see them at a meetup or I see them on Instagram, they're wearing them. It's so great. You know, I just, yeah. Thank y'all so much for enjoying it because I enjoy it. And the more support I get from that, the more support I get from y'all, the more motivation and free time I have to do things like, garden tours, going to Alabama, doing all this cool stuff. So keep it coming, and I'll keep it coming. Feed the beast, feed me, and I will feed me, and I will feed you. I don't know what that means. That's so stupid. I am I am so tired today. I haven't eaten since about 11 o'clock. I'm very hungry. I'm probably gonna cut this a little bit short, unless y'all have any questions or anything like that. Hope y'all like the new background. What was that? Sounds like Batman just pulled up in front of my house. But anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. Well, make sure to pay attention and like and subscribe and follow on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all that good stuff. The biggest favor you can do for me is go share one of my go share one of my videos to one of your friends. Share one of my videos, and and help support the channel. If you can buy a hat and you want a hat, go buy a hat from my site. And man, hey, thanks, Smart Pots. I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for the support and the love. And we'll be live on Monday for the Texas Garden Guy show. And we'll talk about everything I got done this weekend, or what I didn't get done. You always go into a weekend with a bunch of plans and a bunch of things you want to get done. And I maybe get 25% done. So have a good one, and we will see you later.